herein it's easier to doubt yourself. It's easier to contradict yourself. But I serve a mighty God that have laid down on the cross so that you and I can be saved. And this message tonight is going to speak to the hearts of the brokenhearted. It's going to speak to the minds of the ones that are lost and confused. It's going to speak to the ones with eyes that cannot see. It's going to speak to the ears of the ones that cannot hear. And tonight's message, it's all about sacrificing. And when you sacrifice, it's going to lead you to your blessing. Amen. Sometimes the road to your blessings won't be lined with comfort. It'll be lined with sacrifice. Sacrifice is often the hidden bridge between where you are now and where God is calling you to be. The very thing you're giving up on, your time, your energy, your habits, your old ways of thinking. I want to remind the person that is listening, it is not a loss. It's an investment. When you learn how to sacrifice, you are sowing seeds that will produce a harvest far greater than what you left behind. I want you to think about it. Every great breakthrough, every powerful testimony, every new level of favor is preceded by a season of sacrifice. Sacrifice refines your character, sharpens your faith, and positions you for what's next. It's in the very moments where no one sees your effort, no one sees your tears, no one sees your faithfulness, that God is working behind the scenes, preparing for your blessings. Don't be discouraged if it feels hard or lonely. Don't mistake the pain of sacrifice for punishment. Because in the midst of it all is preparation. I want you to understand that the very thing you're sacrificing now may be the thing God uses to bless you later. The doors you think you're closing may be only the ones that's closing to open up greater doors for you. I want to tell you to stay faithful in your giving. Stay faithful in your service. Stay faithful in your discipline. Because what you're sowing and sacrifice today, you're going to reap in blessings for your tomorrow. Your obedience is not gone in vain. Your tears are not in vain. Your efforts are not in vain. God sees every sacrifice you made, and He will reward you in perfect time. In perfect time. Life feels hard sometimes because we're living in a world that tests us. We're living in a world that shapes us. We live in a world that pushes us to grow. The struggles you face aren't meant to destroy you. They are meant to prepare you. I want you to understand that God never promised life would be easy. But He did promise that He would never leave you and that every challenge have a purpose. If you think about this for a second, when gold is being refined, it has to go through fire. The heat doesn't come to destroy the gold, but to remove the impurity so that what remains is stronger than more valuable than ever. In the same way, The fire you feel in your life may just be God's way of refining you, pulling things out of you that you didn't even know you had within you, your wisdom and your faith. If you look at the story of Joseph, his life wasn't easy. Joseph was betrayed by his brothers. He was sold into slavery. He was thrown into prison. To everyone's watching, it looked like his life was going downhill. But the whole time, God had a bigger plan for Joseph. Those hardships were the very path that led him to the palace, where he became second in command and was used to save family and a nation. Or when you think about Job, Job lost everything. Job lost his wealth. Job lost his health. Job lost his family. Life was hard for Joseph. He wanted to give up, but the thing about Joseph is that Joseph held on to his faith. And in the end, God restored him with double what he had lost. So I know you ask yourself, why is life so hard? Because the weight of the calling requires the strength of the obedience. God's plan isn't to harm you, but his plan is to prosper you and to give you hope for your future. Sometimes the difficulties you're facing today is the very thing that is shaping you for the blessings that's on its way. I want to give you your confirmation to remind you to hold on. Because the plans that God has for your life are not small. They are greater than anything you can imagine. Your current struggle is not the very end of your story. It's just the chapter that will make the blessings even more powerful. There's a chapter in your life where God is getting ready to make it more impactful. God is getting ready to make the story more relevant. God is getting ready to change things around in your life. Sickness around, debt around, financial burdens around, your mind around. God is getting ready to turn it around. When you are in the middle of your struggles, I want you to remember that God has not left you. God have not left you. And if God have not left you, I want you to know that God will not forsake you. God will not forsake you. Struggles do not mean abandonment. They mean you're getting ready to walk into a season of your life where things is about to unfold right in front of you. I don't know who needs to hear this, but ain't nobody mad but the devil. I want you to realize that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The battle that you're in is shaping you for the blessings ahead of your life. Every tear, every sleepless night, every question that fills your heart, God sees it all. And I want you to know that God sees it all. And he is still working on your behalf. I'm here to remind you that what you call a struggle, he calls a setup for the set downs, for the disappointments. What looks like a storm to you, what looks like a storm in your life, looks like training ground for God. It's in the struggles that you learn to lean on him a little bit deeper. Sometimes your struggles, sometimes your pain, sometimes your worry, sometimes your tears will make you lean on God. You may feel like giving up right now. Maybe you feel like life is too hard. Maybe you feel like life is taking you by storm. Maybe you feel like you won't make it from point A to point Z. Maybe you just feel like that. But know that you serve a God. You serve a God that's able to turn things around. You serve a God that's able to redeem you. You serve a God that is a way maker out of no way. And when the devil tries to whisper to you that you won't make it, here come God. He whispers to you, my grace is sufficient in you. My strength is made in perfect weakness. Your struggles does not define your story. The pressure you feel today is producing power for your tomorrow. I don't know who needs to hear that, but the pressure that you feel today is producing your power for tomorrow. You are not alone in this. God is walking with you, fighting for you, and turning your pain into purpose. I want you to hold on. I want you to stand firm. I want you to keep your faith. Because sooner or later, the same struggle that tried to break you would be the testimony that builds you. When life feels heavy and the battles seems endless, the greatest decision you can make is to choose God right in the middle of your struggles. Struggles will come, pain will visit, disappointments will knock on your door. But in that moment, you have a choice to make. In that moment, you have a choice to make. You have a choice to make, to give into fear or to lean on your faith. It's faith over fear. Choosing God doesn't mean your struggle isn't going to disappear. It doesn't mean that your struggle going to instantly disappear. But it does mean you don't have to face this alone. When you choose God in your storm, you're saying, Lord, I trust you even when I don't understand it. I believe in you even when I can't see the way. That choice changes everything. Because while the world sees your weakness, God sees your surrender. While the enemy sees your defeat, I serve a God that sees your victory. The same God who brought David through Goliath. The same God that brought Daniel through the lion's den. The same God that brought Paul through the prison is the same God walking with you through this moment. I'm here to remind you that your struggles are not meant to destroy you. They are meant to deepen your faith. And every time you choose God over your doubt, God over your fear, God over your pain, you grow stronger. You grow wiser. Every time you choose prayer over panic, there's a moment in time. Every time you choose faith over fear, you move closer to your breakthrough. It's very important to not allow your struggles to weigh you down. Somebody put in the comments, I will not allow my struggles to weigh me down. I will not allow my struggles to weigh me down. Every day, life gives us choices. Some are painful, but the most important decision you will ever make is to choose God. Choosing God doesn't mean the road will be free of struggles, but it does mean you will never walk alone. It means that no matter how dark the valley is, you will always have light guiding you. No matter how fierce the storm, you will always have an anchor holding you steady. Choosing God is choosing peace over panic, faith in over your fears, and purpose over your emptiness. It is choosing to trust the one who knows the end from the beginning from the end, the one who can turn ashes into beauty and the brokenness into a testimony. When you learn how to choose him, you are choosing strength that doesn't run out, love that doesn't fade, and grace that never fails. Those doors will open up another, and God is in the center of everything that's going on. You might have lost your job. Your finances might have decreased. But I'm here to remind you that God is in the center of everything that you got going on. The word of God said that he will never leave you nor forsake you, Patricia. God will never leave you nor forsake your chosen one. God will never leave you nor forsake you. God will never leave you nor forsake you. Although you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you will not fear no evil, because God is with you. Thy rod and thy staff that comforts you in the middle of your storm. You just like Peter, you may be going through a storm right now. You may not know how you're going to get through that storm right now. That storm may be sickness. That storm may be doubt. That storm may be anxiety. That storm may be depression. You don't know how you're going to get out that storm. But I'm here to remind you today, just like Peter was focused on the storm, when Peter started focusing on Jesus, things start turning around for Peter. Things start looking good for Peter, because God spoke to that storm and told that storm, peace, be still. Just like he can speak to your storm. Just like he can speak to your storm and tell your storm, peace, be still. He can speak to your storm. Whatever your storm is, you might got bills piling up and you may not know how you're going to pay your bills. But God will make a way. Cast your worries on Jesus. The things that you cannot control are the things you need to give to Jesus. The things that you cannot hold on to are the things you need to give to Jesus. I don't ever want you to think that you lost this fight. I don't ever want you to think that you lost this battle, because God is still working. He's still working. He's still delivering. He's still healing. He's still restoring. He's still redeeming. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you have not lost yet. I want you to know that your storms don't last forever. And in the night is always the darkest before dawn. Your struggle is not your failure. It's your preparation and what God is preparing you for. Every challenge is shaping you and strengthening you. Every challenge is teaching you how to rise higher than before. You have not lost. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You have purpose. I want you to keep going. I want you to keep fighting. I want you to keep believing that your breakthrough is closer than what you're thinking. Stop right now and listen to me carefully. I know it feels heavy sometimes. I know the weight of your disappointment, of dreams that has been delayed sometimes, or doors that have been closed in your face sometimes. I know it feels like the world is moving past you right now, while you're stuck in the same place, while you're stuck in the same position. But hear me, you have not lost yet. Lord, your loss is not defined by what's happening around you or what have happened in your life. It's defined by not giving up. I want you to know that you still have an opportunity because you're still here. I want you to know that you have to keep moving forward, even if it's one small step at a time. Every setback, every heartache, every headache is not a mistake. It is not the end of your story.